Everyone, welcome back to my channel for another scrapbook creation. Today I'm using a sketch by the amazing Laura Whitaker, who created the sketch for my friend Heather's Crafty Life when she went live on YouTube. So I'm showing you that I'm going to use the Cocoa Vanilla Hello Sunshine. I absolutely am a huge fan of Cocoa Vanilla. However, I have yet to open this collection. So in the sketch it showed triangles, and I found this beautiful paper while I was flipping through it of orange with the polka dots. And one thing I love about Cocoa Vanilla, it always has like it's not a vibrant like cardstock. They're very muted as far as the colors. And so the orange wasn't like a primary orange. And so I wanted to use that for the triangles. And I got this brilliant idea off camera that I was going to hand draw my triangles. Yeah, it didn't work. Then I thought, grab a ruler, Desiree. Wrong. Then I thought, no, you definitely will get it right with a paper trimmer. Fail. So I ended up using my trusty old Silhouette Cameo to give me two perfect triangles. Now I wish I would have made the triangles a lot bigger. However, I couldn't. And the reason why is, you see that wood grain, that background paper that is wood grain? It is not going to stay. I'm going to decide on a different pattern paper, which happens to be on the back side of that triangle, so I don't have much of it left. Anyways, moving on. The sketch does call for like the triangles to be matted. I thought I could use the branding strips. However, they weren't lining up right, so I said scratch that. Let me just think of, let me move on to matting the photo down while I think of what I could do next. And so this photo is just my sister who lives in Hawaii, and she comes out every other year. So this was her second time meeting her nephew, or seeing her nephew. So it was a perfect picture of them two in the backyard. We had set up the little kiddie pool with a bubble machine and music and barbecuing and all that good stuff. So we're having like a little mini pool party. And then that's when I realized, what if I ink the edges? And so I took a Lawn Fawn Merman to ink up that edge, and that merman is like a beautiful sea green, so it matched perfectly. And then I'm going to take the Tim Holtz Spiced Marmalade to ink up the orange. So as I was doing that, I think, what am I going to do next? Oh, the tags. Then I grabbed my Tim Holtz tag die set, and I'm showing you how I made a tag out of, again, the papers from the Hello Sunshine collection. Pretty much everything I use, unless I tell you, is from the Hello Sunshine collection. And so I liked the anchors, and then I took just white cardstock, and the die set also has a reinforcer, so I wanted the white to pop off that blue. And then I went into my stash and found some American Crafts Baker's Twine in yellow and white. And I'm just now trying to grab more colors, because now you see the paper that I'm going to use as my background. It's beautiful. I love it. It's very colorful, it's fun, and it's perfect for this photo. And so I'm now trying to grab colors that are popping from that background. I thought I was going to tie a bow on this tag, but I end up leaving it as is. And then now I'm going through the ephemera pack, seeing if there's anything that I want, and some puppy stickers. I thought about using these word phrase stickers, but nothing was really fitting for this photo. So I go back to the puppy stickers, and I thought about adding some stickers, some of those stickers, onto the photo. But because I am really indecisive, whenever I get that way, I tend to move on and just kind of look for everything, like look through everything. That's when I found some wood buttons, and then I thought, let me look at this cut apart sheet, and I see this one that says make a splash, and I'm like, that is definitely something I want on my layout. So I'm going to cut that up, and then I'm kind of, as I cut that up and think, okay, where might I have this? I go back to the cut apart sheet, and that is where I find this amber stand. So I'm going to cut that up, and while I'm doing that, I'm realizing they're almost the same shapes. One's a square and one is a rectangle, which is fine, but I didn't want it to look really blocky. I wanted a lot of different angles and shapes onto this page, being that there already is a ton of shapes. So I go to my punches, and I grab a Creative creative memories. Oh my goodness. Punch, and these are the only circle punches I have, but I absolutely love them. And that's where I nestle it in until it's centered, and then now I have a different shape. So when I create little layers. Okay, so I go back to this 3x4, or 3x4. Oh my goodness, Desiree, it's so late right now. I go back to the cut apart sheet. I find this 3x4 card, and it says Fun in the Sun. And that's when I was like, wait a minute, I'm going to use this as my title. So I cut that card out, and I end up deciding, instead of making it, again, the whole shape, which is a rectangle, I'm going to fussy cut the words. Now I'm going to leave a border of that sea green on it, because if I cut it off to where it's just, the word is just in a white script, it's going to be lost on the page. And I also can then add the ink around the edges as well. So I'm going to fussy cut with that, and then I'm going to now adhere things down to get this layout pretty much finalized, like coming together. And so here I am, making sure everything's exactly like it was in the sketch. And then of course I'm going to add a few, obviously, different things to add my own personal touch. And that tag was not straight, so here I am being ever so careful to not rip that paper and re-adhere that tag down. And that looks perfect. And now I'm trying to just, what am I doing? Okay, so here I am going to adhere the title, and I definitely knew from, based when I was trying to figure out about the puffy stickers, if I was trying to decide if I want to use those, but I wanted to have the words on the photo. But I didn't want to put it completely on the photo, being that now I went to a bigger title versus what I was originally looking at. So I'm now making sure that it touches not only the photo, but also touch the paper on the other side. And so there it is, the Fun in the Sun, and then I'm going to add the Make a Splash and start creating a cluster over there. So it reads Fun in the Sun and Make a Splash is the title. And I really like the look of that. And I love the look of, I don't do it enough, or I tend to do it in the beginning and then forget while I'm making the layout, but I love the look of inked edges. Excuse me. Next I go back to that wood button. Now, the wood button had some foam adhesive, and I felt like it just didn't need any more dimension, so I'm just going to use my tacky glue and adhere that down to the actual layout. And it's just an arrow, so it draws your eye to the photo. And it's in that same color as Fun in the Sun, so that way I could kind of bring them both together on both sides. Next I go back to the puffy stickers, and again I'm just trying to figure out what else I could add. I go back to the ephemera pack, not really seeing anything there but arrows, and I'm going to try to put down an arrow, and I just don't like the look of it, so I put it back in the package. And then I forget what I move on to. I'm trying to think. I did this layout. It took me, since I'm back at work, I'm really finding that sketches just make it easier and quicker for me to work on a layout, because I only, I'm short for time. So I worked on this a week. It's been about a week. I'm just trying to remember everything I did. Oh, that's right. I add some enamel dots in 3 different colors. I add it in the blue, the green, and then the yellow. And then on the back of that anchor paper, this paper is awesome. It is a bunch of word phrases. So literally you can cut them all up and you will have a ton of word phrases forever. And I just added, "This happened, pool party." I think next I go back to that ephemera, and I'm trying to think maybe if I could have a banner. I mean, I'm trying to envision like different things that I could use. And then, like I said, when I get indecisive, I kind of put it down and just walk away. Now, obviously, this is several days later. Actually, this was today. But I decided to add one more tag in that same anchor paper. And then there you can see the word phrases that I cut up. And again, add that twine. And then I think I add some more enamel dots. And that's when I found, that's right, I went back to I remembered that the ephemera pack had this sun in it, and I'm going to add the sun on top of that tag as well. But I'm going to put some foam adhesive on it so it adds some more dimension. And I like that a lot better. It just, the top needed something, and so, you know, like I said, I went through and like looked at some banners and stuff, and nothing just really didn't fit. And I thought, you know what, it needs another tag. Since I have one there at the bottom, I need to have one up on top. And then I like the look of that a lot better. Now, you remember my sleeves are huge. I think you could tell from, you know, being in the camera. I then tend to pull some Heidi Swapp Shine. So I'm not sure about the colors. I tried this peacock and I don't like that one, so I go to the butter. And then I remembered I had this one color called Ocean, and the Ocean actually was perfect. So as I'm, you know, sprinkling it all over my page, my sleeve, because it hangs really long, it hangs down really low because they're so huge, literally as soon as I was done sprinkling it all, it touched the dots on the bottom right, so you will see a smear mark. You know what? It was that background paper was my only one I had left. I didn't care. I just left it. I was like, it's not a big deal. It's not going to matter when somebody looks at my book. They probably won't even notice, except for me. So I just leave it as is, and that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this sketch. Be sure to check out Heather's Crafty Life for her version of, or her take on the sketch. Also, Laura Whitaker, she has her own blog. She creates a bunch of sketches, I think one a week, and her sketches, like I said, are amazing. So thank you so much for joining me, guys. I really appreciate it. You all have an amazing weekend. Bye.